Greetings, YouTube. Today I thought I'd work on a simple project to turn a 26-inch baseball bat, I'm not sure if this is a t-ball bat or just a youth softball bat, into a more dangerous mace. Now my original plan was to take a piece of tubing that would be just the same size as this and slip it over here, put a cap on it, and hold it all in place with one bolt. Problem is that the bat is not the right size for this. There's a 1.5, which would be way too small. And this is a 2-inch. There's no 1 3/4 inch, which would probably be perfect. At least not at my big box store. Maybe there's others out there, but I didn't feel like hunting around for one. So I'm going to make up the difference between that diameter and the bat with some duct tape, and then I'll glue the whole thing together. But that's all that's going to be doing is filling the space between the bat and the pipe, and the cap will still be what's actually holding everything together. And mostly this is going to be adding some mass. This is going to be the main impact tool when it comes to actually using it. And my goal here is to use one power tool, a drill. That's it. Everything else I do, I'm going to want to use just hand tools. And I think I'm only going to need something to turn the bolt with. And I'm going to file myself a spot here in the center that the drill bit can bite into. So I'm probably going to make an X with the file right there in the middle. So I make a little divot so that the drill bit will have something to go into and won't walk on me, because this is the exact center, so I want to get as close as I can as possible to that. And that will just make it all a whole lot easier. And then once I get it, the duct tape and everything in place, I'll drill the hole and put this in. I may use some wood glue on that as lubricant, I'm not sure. And I'll probably use super glue to lubricate the whole tape part, so that I'll make it just a little snug, glue it in place, and then we'll be all set for the final assembly. So I need to weigh this so we know how much it weighs beforehand, and then we can weigh it after to see how much I have increased it by. Okay, so we're starting out at 421 grams. Let's see where this takes us. So my first X was not correct. The one on the left is not where I want it. The one on the right is. Live and learn. I'm going to be drilling a hole in a minute anyway, and then a lot of this is going to be hidden. And frankly, I don't really care if the top of this thing is not pristine. It's just going to be a big wacky tool, you know? So next step is going to be to break out the drill and make me a 1/4 inch hole. So there we are. I supported the cap with some wood so it wouldn't move, because I'm only really holding it in 2 spots. And the bolt fits in there nicely with a little bit of room to spare, which is what I want. I didn't want to bind in the cap when I'm using it. So now I'm going to put the cap on the tube and then figure out how much duct tape needs to go onto the bat. So there we go. It is wrapped, and I have drilled the hole for the bolt. I just free-handed it. I just put the cap on there to act as a guide and just held it and drilled it. And it didn't spin on me at all, which is kind of nice, because I forgot to put a glove on. So now I'm going to use Gorilla Glue on this here, and to lubricate it. So I put that last little smidge in there, and then I'm going to probably put a dab of wood glue into the hole before I get my ratchet out and put that, and then we'll see how the whole thing weighs out. So we're almost done. This is a really simple process, and again, I have used one power tool, a drill, which is very common. I did have the advantage of a vise, but you could do this without a vise if you had a pipe wrench that could hold this in place and had a friend holding it for you, or you could clamp it down onto something with either a couple of clamps, one on either side, to hold it in place. And all I used was a file to make that X. So, and it was just a triangular shaped file. So those are really common too. So the number of tools required to do this has been very minimal, which is my design idea here, making a high energy impact weapon that doesn't take a lot of tools. So now it's going to be lubing things up and bolting things home. And there we have the finished weapon. It was at 421 grams before this started. It is now at 1,309 grams. So that's a significant improvement. This is over 3 times heavier, and all of the weight is down here, and that's going to make a major impact. One thing I will say about this black pipe caps, they drill really nicely. I mean, I drilled a small pilot hole. I mean, actually, not even all the way through. I just basically put a divot with a small drill bit in that X, and so that with combination of the two, make sure that it would not walk at all, and it didn't. And you do nice steady speed, and it drills right through this stuff with no problem whatsoever. And I made sure I vacuumed all the chips up, though I'm going to go back and vacuum the floor again because I get sawdust everywhere when I drilled the hole. So there you go, folks. I'd like to go outside and take a picture of this for my DeviantArt page. But this is the completed weapon. Now, I probably can't swing this one-handed. It's really heavy and it's top heavy. I can swing it two-handed without a problem. Not now at the moment, it's still drying. But I will definitely be able to swing this two-handed with no difficulty. But if you're a big guy, you should be able to handle this one-handed, I think. And this thing is going to hit like a truck. This thing really is. And it's really simple. And actually, if you really wanted to, you could make this longer. And I made it this size because I wanted it to be top heavy, but not overpower the overall aesthetic of the wood. I kind of like the wood. But yeah, so you could have, this is a 4-inch piece. So you could have gotten a 6 or even an 8 if you really wanted to come really down far. That's your choice. But in that case, I probably would drill a hole through here and put a second screw in there. I mean, I could still do that if I really chose to. At the moment, I don't choose to, but I could if I ever see a need for it. That would just be a standard wood screw right in there. Whoop. That would again keep it from moving and keep it from walking and all. But let's face it, this is just for fun. I am never going to use this thing in real life. But I have a bonus for you. See that silver thing? This is a no-tool weapon. This is a 5-foot piece of electrical conduit, steel conduit. I picked up this crappy survival knife at a yard sale for I think $3 or $4, and I used the exact same method for attachment. There's duct tape in there to make up the difference between the internal diameter of the handle, the hollow handle, and the shaft here, and then just lubricated it with super glue to make sure that it would slide on easily in that last snug, and make sure it would not come out. And this means you can have a steel shafted short spear using no tools whatsoever. You just pick up these things without too much difficulty at all. They actually have a quote-unquote survival knife, hollow-handled one at Harbor Freight, which is going for like $9 or $10, which is more than I wanted to pay for this particular project, so I didn't buy one. But the blade's bigger, so you would have it would almost be like a short glaive be a significantly longer knife than this. So it would be definitely give you some more slashing options than this. This is really just designed for thrusting. And it's good to know that, if you ever need to fight in the apocalypse, you'd still be able to open a beer. So there you go, folks. This has been my one-tool baseball mace.